There's a bridge in almost every fantasy world, a sturdy one, the kind built of thick stone stretching over a canyon or a river. You cross it without thinking because bridges are supposed to be reliable. For decades in America, the middle class was that bridge. It connected where you were to where you wanted to go. Work hard, move forward. Save, build wealth. Live decently, retire eventually. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't elite. It was simple yet stable. Safe. But if you walk that bridge today, you'll hear something unsettling. A crack beneath your feet. You'll see missing stones where they used to be. The bridge hasn't collapsed all at once, but it is disappearing, quietly, piece by piece. And this is a story of how it's happening. There was a time in America's not so distant past where middle class wasn't an aspiration. It was default. A single income could buy a home, raise a family, save some money, take a yearly vacation, and still retire with something left over. Jobs paid enough. Groceries didn't require a strategist. College didn't cost the same as a small castle. Healthcare didn't demand tribute like a dungeon boss. Life wasn't easy, but it was able to be navigated. Then the world changed, and the middle class became something else. A shrinking island slowly eroded by tides. There wasn't one force that caused this. There were three. Force one, wages stopped moving. For most of the last 40 years, wages stayed nearly flat, while the cost of living sprinted ahead. Your paycheck stayed the same. The world didn't. This created the first crack in the bridge. Force 2, the cost of essentials exploded. Housing, healthcare, education, transportation, and food. Not luxuries, not treat yourself items, just the basics. Over the last generation, these climbed faster than income by enormous margins. A home once was only 3 times the average salary. Now, on average, it's 7 to 10 times the average salary. College is up over 1,200%. Healthcare, up over 300%. A middle class life started requiring upper class money. And the third force, wealth drifted upward. When productivity rose, the gains didn't go to the workers, they went upward. Shareholders, executives, corporations. The top 1% gained more wealth in the last decade than the bottom 50% combined. The loot table changed, but no one announced this patch. There's a simple image that captures it. A 1950s family. One parent works, one stays home. They own a house, 2 cars, and have savings. The modern family in 2025, both parents are working full-time. More often than not, they have an extra side gig. One of them is always pulling overtime. And yet, they are still struggling. The math changed, and the treadmill was tilted uphill. And when a society requires 2 incomes just to barely float, you no longer have a middle class. You have a stressed class. The middle class didn't disappear into poverty. For many, it disappeared into exhaustion. Almost comfortable, almost secure, almost stable, almost able to save, and almost able to breathe. They live one bad month away from disaster, one medical bill, one car repair, one layoff. Middle class is no longer defined by what you have, it's defined by what you're terrified to lose. In WoW, you always know when you're progressing. Your XP bar moves, your gear improves, your character gets stronger. In real life today, progress feels inverted. People work harder than ever, yet feel less secure, less able to build, less able to grow. The American dream didn't vanish. It just walked into the fog so thick most people can't see it anymore. That messes with your head. It makes you feel like you did something wrong, when in reality, the system shifted beneath your feet. The middle class used to have a margin, breathing room, energy. But now, people are tired. Not lazy tired, not I didn't sleep well tired. The kind of deep bone level exhaustion that comes from carrying weight you weren't built to carry. The disappearing middle class didn't create stress. It created chronic stress, the kind that sits behind your eyes and whispers, "You're always behind," no matter how hard you try. This is the emotional cost people don't talk about. An economy that eats away at your hope is just as damaging as one that eats away at your paycheck. The danger isn't the middle class shrinking, it's what's replacing it. A stratified society, those who own assets and those who never will. Those who grow wealth by existing and those who fall behind no matter how hard they work. This isn't dystopia. It's the direction we're heading unless the game changes. A nation without a middle class is a bridge that can no longer carry anyone across. But here's something beautiful. When the world gets unbalanced, people adapt. They innovate. They unite. Across the country, quiet movements are forming. Community land trusts, new unions, local reforms, affordable housing pushes. The middle class isn't dead. It's being rebuilt differently, from the bottom up, by people who refuse to accept a future made only for the wealthy. This generation isn't weak. It's resourceful, it's stubborn, and it's strategic. It's the kind of generation that turns a broken system into a new meta. If you feel the ground shaking beneath you, if you feel the bridge isn't holding, if you're scared you won't make it to the other side, you're not imagining it. You're not failing, and you most certainly are not alone. The middle class is disappearing. Not because people broke their end of the deal, but because the deal changed. But here's the part that matters. Bridges can be rebuilt, better, stronger, and for everyone. And it always starts with people who see that the world is cracking and decide to walk across anyway. Remember, stay stubborn, stay hopeful, and keep logging in. This story isn't over yet.